California bill allowing pot farmers to sell directly at farmers market advances. Now, let me read this, and this is pretty dense here too because there's some varying opinions on this. And I'll give you my personal first thoughts as well. Consumers would be able to buy cannabis directly from cultivators at farmers markets just like they do for produce. Under legalization approved Tuesday by the State Assembly Committee on Business and Professions, the push to allow small farmers to sell directly comes as cultivators are seeing their most daunting financial challenges since legalization of cannabis in 2018. The wholesale prices farmers receive for outdoor grown marijuana collapsed to $488 a pound. That's pretty fucking solid. I bought ounces in Jersey for more than that. A more than 55% price drop from 15 months earlier. That's crazy. 55% drop in what they're making shows research cannabis benchmarks. The legalization still needs to be clear the Assembly Appropriations Committee and the full Assembly chamber, and then go through the Senate before reaching the governor's desk. Still, it's a first step that pleased several dozen farmers that showed up for Tuesday's vote. This is an important first step that will make our cash flow by being able to sell directly at farmers market, said Kristen Callahan, owner of Magic Meadows Farms in Middleton and Lake County. The bill only allows farmers to sell at 8 farmers markets a year, but Callahan and other farmers see it as a way to add their profits in difficult times by allowing them to collect fees normally paid to the distributor, middleman, and dispensaries. They also see direct sales as a potential beginning for cannabis tourism in California. Through that, they would require more legalization where visitors could sample different varieties of marijuana at a pot farm, similar to what they do at a winery. That makes me super excited. The bill's main opponents are dispensary owners who are concerned about competition to their exclusive franchise under Proposition 64, the legalization that made marijuana sales legal in California. Only dispensaries and delivery services can sell cannabis to consumers. So I'm going to stop right there. That I think is the most, where there's going to be the most conflict of interest is with the dispensary owners and these farmers. My first kind of opinion is let the farmers do this, man. The farmers are the backbone of the game. The farmers are the ones who can get this to the source, especially the mom and pop farms. I really don't think a couple mom and pop grows or a bunch of them, 10s, 20, whatever it is, going to 8 farmers markets a year. I don't think that's going to destroy dispensary sales. I think it might affect it slightly, but a lot of these people going to dispensaries using delivery services don't want to go to a weed farmer's market. That's not their style. A lot of these people like the more high-end dispensaries, the quick delivery that's to your door. Now, I could see, more of the real hardcore stoner crowd enjoying these farmers markets like they already do in the gray market. But I think opening this up for the farmers is really important. And even more than that, with the dispensary owners getting mad at that, you hear these stories of dispensary owners fucking over the small farmers for real. Like even just flower companies that are bigger, just other cannabis companies. There's this huge thing right now in the industry that's been going on way before I even was aware of it, is that these companies will rack up sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt to, let's say, a flower company, and they just won't pay. Now you're saying, why do they keep giving them flower if they're not going to pay? That doesn't make sense. But here's kind of the caveat to that is the reason that they do is because they want to keep their product on the shelves and get it in the consumer's hands. So they'll be, all right, let's get them another order. They haven't paid yet. They're saying they're going to pay. Let's take their word for it. But we want our product. We still want to, be able to play ball with all these other flower companies in the game. So we need to keep our flower on the shelves here. Now, with that, when I've talked to several brands and people who are pretty high up in some of these companies, they said the way that they've been able to collect the money really is by partnering with a larger distribution company. Because if you're doing your own distro, you're a small to medium business, and you don't have that backup, they're just not going to pay you, and they're going to screw you over a lot of times. What the big distro does is it helps legitimize you, and that big distro is carrying a lot of other products. So they can't really not pay you because they want to carry products that people come in there asking for by name. Damn, that was pretty long-winded. So Assemblyman Philip Chin said before Tuesday's vote that he was concerned about the farmers market adding too many places to buy cannabis. As I represent Orange County, there will be an oversaturation of these retailers in many communities, he said. The bill sponsor, Assemblyman Jim Wood, in Santa Rosa, countered that the legislation was about giving the little guy a chance. That's basically what I'm saying, man. The little guy deserves a chance because it's a little guy who started all this shit. We're talking about 8 events, he said. We're not talking about everyone getting a separate license. The farmers insist that allowing consumers to sample their products at farmers markets will only promote marijuana more, benefiting all players in the legal state industry. And I didn't really think about that before. Somebody goes and gets their stuff at a farmer's market. Let's just call it True Buds. Somebody smokes some True Buds flower at a farmer's market. And they're like, oh, that was awesome. So then they go to their local dispensary when there's not a farmer's market and like, hey, bro, do you have True Buds flower? And they're like, no, but I can look at bringing it on. So I think in general, it would help actually dispensaries as well find new flower brands and create potentially even an increase in sales. It's a different kind of perspective. Farmers can show their products currently at cannabis farmers markets, but the convoluted system doesn't allow them to make a direct sale. Consumers then have to go to another booth at the market and buy marijuana from a licensed retail operator. That's the whole game. There's always these loopholes you got to dive through and whatnot. But in general, when in doubt, I think we support the little guy. That's what, to me, cannabis is all about. And that's what it's going to really, really, really be about when things eventually do become federal. If we can put the little guy up first right now, if we can put the little guy there right now, we're putting ourselves in good position. So I really hope this goes through. If this doesn't, I think it's just going to be kind of a bad look, at least in California in general, for these farmers because they won't be able to sustain. We just got to drop taxes. We got to get these guys. Let them do 8 farmers markets a month. You really think it's going to affect your revenue that much? I don't know. I really don't think so. But at the same time, putting myself into dispensary owner's shoes, I could see some potential frustration because they're doing everything right. It goes back for me to kind of the whole gray market, black market right now. Everybody, like there's these raids. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen like these dispensaries who are doing things right. Like Backpack Boys got raided. Tradecraft Farms got raided. And it's like these people are actually legitimate businesses. So they want to fuck these people over because they have money. Because they know if they bust these illegal grow operations or illegal dispensaries, they just don't have the capital that these legal ones have. So instead of taking your time to mess with legal dispensaries who've gone out of their way to pay a shit ton of taxes, how about you fuck with the other grows that are illegal? Just been my opinion for a minute.
This is True Buzz, that Mary J. Now we ain't new to this. For my stoners and for my cannabis enthusiasts, never heard a show as good as this. Number one, it's the best, bringing in many special guests in the industry of cannabis. Business owners to growers, even artists you know of. So sit back and just roll up. Perfect show for my smokers. True Buzz, ayy.